What up, Dokkaners? We have just a few days left for the red stone, the memorial stone, and then since we're going to be talking about the stuff already, we're also going to include the red coin, the Dokkan Festival coin. So let's just jump right in, and I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on which characters I think you should pick up with your red stones and your memorial stones. Now, keep in mind, this is just my opinion. If you disagree, that is completely fine. Pick whichever characters you want that makes you feel more complete with your account. I am talking about in the general sense which characters people might want to be keeping an eye on. So if there is no shame in not agreeing with what I have to say, and if you want to provide your own thoughts and opinions, feel free to do so in the comments down below, because you could be helping someone who is in the same situation as you. So that being said, the red Dragonstone goes away in 6 days, less than 6 days, so I guess 5 days. The Memorial Stone is going away in under 4 days. So you don't have as much time with the Memorial Stone as you do with the Redstone. But starting with the Redstone, the best thing you should be doing with your Redstone is focusing on old school characters. This is the general rule of thumb for the Redstone. This was always your best way to get access to characters that have not been around in circulation for quite some time. And normally you have a wider selection, but lately, I don't know what's going through these dummies' heads. They're limiting the selections for Memorial Stones and Redstones. I don't know. But even still, the characters that are available here, I do think are still worth investing in. With the current celebration being GT boss focused, the #1 choice is going to be Omega Shenron. He is the #1 choice. He is a great slot 3. He flushes out your rotations very well. He is also a very, very good damage dealer, and he can debuff. He does everything that you want in a support unit and then some for GT bosses. GT bosses was already put on the map thanks to GDC. But after that, we're sort of getting a bit of a resurgence with this celebration. We've got LR Tech Super 17 EZA coming up. So this is the time to do whatever you can to bolster the category even more. Making the rest of the team good will allow for you to run AGL LR Omega Shenron with minimal consequence. Some people cringe at the thought of not bringing LR Physical Omega Shenron, but I'm here to tell you, you can clear a lot of events with GT bosses as long as you've got AGL Omega Shenron as your lead. If everybody else on the rotation is working well, like this guy, you're not going to be missing that second LR Physical Omega Shenron. So if you don't have him, get him. If you have him and you don't have a rainbow, maybe you've got like a 69% Omega Shenron, go for the 79%. I think all of these characters are worth getting to 79%. You don't need to go for rainbows, but going to 79% would be good. #1, Omega Shenron. #2, Super Saiyan 4 Goku. #3, AGL Rose. #4, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. And then after that, whatever else you want to pick up, if you don't have them, you can. I think those are my top 4 though. Omega, Goku, Rose. Rose is good for super bosses, corroded body and mind, extreme class in general, and then Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. I don't know why this dude's got a bad rap. He's good. I don't know what people are on about. He's good. Now, if you've got all of these characters and you don't need any of them, then you might be wondering, Toon, should I pick up some of these characters up at the top? Obviously, if you don't need any of these guys down here, then yes, go for one of the characters up at the top. But who? I'll tell you right now, the ones that cost 3 to me aren't worth it. Because depending on how many redstones you got from the Purunga wishes, you may not even have enough beyond the 3. It's not worth spending 3 of these for one of these units. Because I'm telling you right now, these super EZAs absolutely lap these Dokkan festivals. AGL Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is 10 times better than Physical Trunks. 10 times better than Super Trunks. Wait, did I say Trunks? Physical Turles. These guys aren't worth it. So if you want to go for someone up here, I would say, if anything, maybe Int Golden Frieza's worth it. He helps super bosses. He helps movie bosses, Wicked Bloodline. Also, DBS Broly is also good. He also helps super bosses and movie bosses. So other than that, I don't think anybody else is worth picking up. Nobody else is really close to an EZA. The closest would be, I guess, Turles, because he released in... Actually, you know what? I have the information right here. Turles released in May... No, he's not close. Turles released May 31st, 2023. Everybody above him released later. So nobody is on the docket for an EZA. So I would say, at best, you can go for the level 2s, but for the most part, focus on the old school characters. So that about wraps up the redstone selection. I've got 5 here, so I'll be making my choices after this video is done. All of these picks give you Kais, by the way. So hopefully you guys didn't wish for those Kais in the Purunga wishes. I did 5 different videos, so hopefully you guys got the message. Now let's talk about the Memorial Stone. This one is always very tough because it just depends on your own individual financial situation, because the whole purpose of getting a Memorial Stone is having burnt 50 Dragon Stones. right? So if you're a whale, you probably have a ton of these, like I do. If you're not a whale, you barely have any. You might not even have enough to buy one character, let alone buying one. If you do, is it worth buying one, or is it better? Let's just say you have 151 Memorial Stones, right? You have just enough to buy any one of the TUR characters. Is it worth buying just one character, or is it better to convert every single one of those stones into tickets? 151 tickets equals 20 plus multis, 20 plus 7-unit multis. In those 7-unit multis, you could end up getting more characters than just the one that you would have bought with your Memorial Stones. In general, in a general sense, I think everyone should be converting their Memorial Stones into tickets so that they could summon and try to get more characters through that, because that inherently can give you more value. If you are someone who must know among these options which one is the best to pick up, it's very hard to generalize that. But I will say that every Dokkan account should have at least these two characters. The first character that everyone should have in their account is Intma Jr. The reason why is because he is the #1 character for World Tournament. World Tournament is a grind that shows up every 2 or 3 months or so. And while most of you don't go for the top tier sweaty tryhard strats, you still want to do the World Tournament every time it shows up because it can give you 50 Dragon Stones. That alone makes it worth bringing this guy because he makes the World Tournament experience far more bearable than ever. He just uses an active skill and he eliminates everyone on the rotation every time, with a few exceptions. So if you don't have this guy, then your World Tournament grinds are probably less enjoyable or probably less bearable, which means you're probably less likely to do them, which means you don't get those 50 Dragon Stones. So if you don't have an Intma Jr., I would say this is probably worth picking up just so you can get through World Tournament without any issues. Also, I would say maybe a step below Piccolo in terms of demand. I would say Physical GT Super Saiyan Goku. This guy, time and time again, has proven to be the best option to bully your way through insurmountable odds. Certain missions, certain events where you find yourself struggling, if a nuking option is possible, this guy plus the Dabura cookie can get you out of a lot of sticky situations. Recently, when I was doing the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta clone event during GDC, made a short on it. If you guys haven't checked it out, make sure to do so. The Dokkan World Strat is what we called it, where you use the Dabura cookie with some supports and this guy on the rotation. He was able to eliminate Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta in 1 turn. Likewise, this same strat can be used in a lot of other events. If you're trying to clear events under a certain amount of turns, if you're trying to do a certain amount of damage, this guy is all around the best nuke in the game because he is not only good at nuking, but he can also be a good leader skill. He can also work on other teams. He is all around a fantastic option. So if you don't have this character, I think that he would also be good to have on your account because he's basically a bailout, a really, really reliable bailout. Besides that, I don't think anybody else here is a must-have. Like, it would be nice to have a Kid Goku EZA. It would be nice to have a guaranteed dodge Yamcha EZA, right? It would be nice to have, you know, I don't know, who else here is really good? It would be nice to get this guy whenever this unit eventually gets their EZA. This unit released in 2021, 4 years ago. We are way overdue for an EZA, but we still don't have it. This unit is also just good in general because you have the ability to Ghost Usher against a single target. We have used this character to cheese our way through some events. So, I mean, that's a good unit, but like, it's just too conditional. There's just too many possible scenarios for just Dokkan players in general where you really can't narrow down, okay, you must have these. So I would say besides the GT Super Saiyan and the Piccolo, just go for the tickets. I will be doing my summons actually later on, either today or tomorrow, because I do want to get these ticket summons taken care of, because this all goes away in 4 days. I got to convert all of these. I'm going to be doing over 700 summons. I also have accumulated a few tickets just over the course of the last celebration. I haven't used them. I've been saving them for a video. So if you guys want to summon with me, feel free to do so. I'll be doing this in the next couple of days, and let's see if we can pick up something good. For me, honestly, it's all about picking up older character. Well, actually, is that even possible? It's not possible. I think for me, it's going to be all about getting just random unfeatured LRs. Yeah. I think it's just about getting unfeatured LRs because I don't really need any of these guys. But hey, you know what? If you're someone who needs some of these, you're more likely to probably get some of those if you do those summons. So, all right, so that about wraps up the Memorial Stone section. Again, Memorial Stone goes away in 4 days. You don't have as much time as the Red Stone. Keep that in mind. Lastly, let's talk about the red coins. The answer is sell, if anything. After that, I don't think anybody is worth picking up. The reason why STR Cell, I think, is worth picking up is mainly because of his leader skill. This guy, when he released back in April, this was during no man's land in Dokkan. It was just not a good time to be summoning because people were recovering from the 10th anniversary. Some people even spent whatever residuals they had left over for Saiyan Day. There was just no room to summon for this guy. And at the time, he didn't seem like he was all that useful. But then over the course of the following months, we immediately came to regret not summoning for Cell because tournament participants became the sort of common denominator amongst all of the new releases. And I think even some specific missions where people were struggling to clear the event because they couldn't find a good leader skill that could encapsulate all the characters that are demanded in that run, except for Cell. So retroactively, Cell's value skyrocketed. And so now, obviously, those missions are still out there. There are still certain potential teams that can only be run comfortably with the Cell. So if you are someone who was trying to finish some of those missions, or maybe you're trying to put together a good team that sort of encapsulates all these characters that have released, Cell would be good. I'm mainly talking about his leader skill when I suggest that he is worth picking up. But besides that, individual accolades, he does have a self-revive, he does have the domain and whatnot. But if you don't really care about the leader skill, then I don't think you necessarily have to pick up any character in the red coin shop. But Cell is good. I enjoy using Cell. Cell recently has helped me get through a couple of, I forget which events specifically. But he can also be a good stall tactic for that STR only mission on that new event. Although you're probably better off just using Super STR, but yeah. So besides Cell, nobody else is worth it. Some people have said, hey, I want to pick up the Vegeta. Should I do it? If you really want to, you can. But I'm guessing the only reason why you're going for that Vegeta is because of the Extreme AGL Festival of Battles mission. If you've got AGL Full Power Frieza, that unit can definitely do it. I don't think it's worth picking up a character for one specific mission. So if you don't have that AGL Full Power Frieza, I think you're better off just waiting. And whenever you do manage to pull this unit down the road, you could try that mission again. Because by then, new leader skills will have come out, better units will have come out, and you'll probably have a better team anyway, where you can probably get by bringing some other Extreme AGL dud. Rose, oh, and you know what? I actually kind of wanted to talk about this on the Memorial Stone front. So let me go back here. Rose. Now, this might be a bit of a hot take, and you might disagree, and if you do, that is totally fine. But I just want to throw this out there. If you are someone who managed to not get STRL or Rose, and you are struggling to run your free-to-play Rose clones, I think physical Rose's value has gone up simply because he allows you to run a high-functioning Rose clone army team. If you have LRSTR Rose as the friend lead, and this guy is your main lead, then your main core team featuring all the free-to-play units can be just as good if you had an LRSTR Rose as your lead. So picking them up either with your red coins or the Memorial Stone thing might be worth it for you. But just keep in mind, Rose is going to be back during the 11th anniversary. And then, of course, we've got that summon point system update that's coming soon in November, where you will eventually be able to have a chance at picking up the Rose during those single summons if you decide to use one of those summon point singles over there. So just food for thought. You don't have to do it. But if you are someone who does not have a good leader skill for the Rose clones, but you've got the Rose clones, you gotta give those units a good leader skill. Physical Rose will be just fine until you manage to get that LRSTR Rose. And that's it. Those are my thoughts on all of these different items. Hopefully you guys are able to have an easier time deciding. When in doubt, just don't. If you don't know if you want the sell, just don't do it. You're better off saving up. The more you save, the more options you have during the marquee celebrations. We are in the dog days of Dokkan. The next couple of months are going to be slow. The best thing that you can do is to Dokkan responsibly, stockpile resources, and get ready for the next biggest celebration of the year, which will be the 11th anniversary in end of January. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, obviously like down below. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on everything that I talked about here as far as which characters are worth picking up. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Which characters did you get? Which characters are you happy that you picked up? Which characters do you regret picking up? Feel free to share your thoughts overall in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more Dokkan content in the future and click the notification bell so that you know you want to see more of my stuff. Do it. Thanks again. Stay tuned. And ours, remember to Dokkan responsibly.